We have two major astrological events coming up in the next coming days. We have Venus conjunct the South Node, release, let go, Venus, relationships, money, self-love, and that's happening on October 4th. We also have the full moon in Aries. I absolutely love this full moon. There are no super harsh aspects to it. It's going to feel like almost like a releasing and letting go, but it's going to feel good. It's going to feel raw. Your intuition is just going to be on fire for this full moon that we have in Aries. And that's happening on October 6th, late at night. I'm going to go over the astrology of each individual aspect collectively and what you can feel and expect. And then we will break it down by each sign. So let's get into it. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Jenny. I'm an ascension astrologer. I'm here to help you ascend, help you make changes in your life that serve you in order to get what you desire. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let's just get into the astrology for these two major events coming up. Venus conjunct the South Node is going to be a pleasurable transit. Venus is a benefic planet. It is here to give us love, beauty, joy, pleasure, money, just love in relationships to others, love in relationships to yourself, so self-love as well. And when it makes that conjunction to the South Node, which will be happening on October 4th, it's going to involve some transformation. Now, it could involve a couple things. It could involve you bringing in past ventures, depending on where it is in your chart, as I will go over later. But it could bring in, things that you used to do in the past that serve you, or it could be you releasing and letting go things that don't serve you, people, places, things. But because Venus is a benefic planet, it is here to give us what we desire. So whatever it is that you're releasing and you're letting go, don't hold on too tight because it's Venus is here to give us benefits. So as soon as you do this release and let go, Venus is going to reward you. And then we're going to be moving into this full moon in Aries, which is going to be October 6th. That Venus conjunct the South Node is going to be really, really powerful. We are going to be feeling that. I would say starting like the 3rd, October 3rd to all the way through the full moon. And we're already in this releasing and letting go pattern because Venus is there on that South Node. And with full moons, the whole purpose of a full moon is it's here to enlighten. It's here to show. It's here to show you what works and what doesn't work, as well as, ending a chapter when it comes to that new moon in Aries cycle that we had. Now, what's really amazing about this full moon in Aries is we don't have the eclipse access in Aries and Libra anymore, but we are still seeing the benefits from it. I mean, the North Node was in Aries, the South Node was in Libra, and we really went through it with going after what we desire as an individual and letting go of relationships that no longer serve us collectively. That's what a lot of people went through. Obviously, in your chart, wherever that Aries and Libra axis is where you experience personally this transformation and your planets add flavor if you have planets in Aries and Libra. So this full moon doesn't have any harsh aspects to it. And what I absolutely love about this full moon is we are in a loose square to Jupiter. So Jupiter is a benefic planet. It loves to grow and expand and bring that optimism. And so with Jupiter involved, this is an optimistic, ending. So that's kind of the vibe of the next couple days. The next 4 to 5 days is going to be this optimistic, just ending. Like you're going to be like, okay, this is ending and that's okay. Like I'm cool with that shit. Like let it end. This full moon is also going to be at 14 degrees. If you have cardinal placements at 14 degrees, this is going to impact you more than everybody else. So that's Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn. Those placements, you guys are going to feel the energy pretty intensely when it comes to this full moon, and not in a negative way. This is Like I said, there are no harsh aspects to this full moon. What I also love about this full moon is we also have the part of fortune is going to be in Capricorn as soon as it goes exact. So your Capricorn house is going to see some fortune with whatever is going to be shown to you this full moon in that Aries house. And Capricorn energy is about long-term commitments. So whatever you've been putting your long-term commitments into is where you can see harvesting. Full moons are also about harvesting. Like if you're completing a project, finally putting a project out there, going after the love of your life, it depends on where Aries is in your chart, but whatever long-term commitments, you're gonna see the value in that. Value in whatever you've been committing yourself to, you're going to see a favorable outcome with this full moon. Now, some release and let go is going to be needed, like things that don't serve you. We already have that Venus conjunct the South Node transit, which we're already releasing and letting go. So we're going to be in this theme. But keep in mind, full moons are about harvesting, and this is a feel-good full moon. This full moon is also ruled by Mars. Mars is currently in Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio energy is about that commitment, about that obsession, about that focus. So whatever your drive is, whatever your focus is, it's going to feel pleasurable to continue doing that focus. Or switching up, like maybe you were going down one path and then the full moon shows you something and you're like, holy shit, like that's not what I want at all. Because it's good to know what we don't want, right? When we know what we don't want, then we know what we want. Mercury will also be in Scorpio this day, which could be a little bit troublesome as Mercury in Scorpio is that energy of deep transformation, and Scorpio is also that energy of the underworld and more dark things. So I would say just watch out with your thoughts that day. Like if you're telling yourself you can't do it, find the doubt. Why do you feel like you can't do it? Who told you that growing up? Who told you that it wasn't possible for you to do what you desire to do? Our mindset might be a little bit dark if you're trailing off into old beliefs that don't serve you. So that is, especially because Aries rules the head, it's going to feel like a very mental start, a very mental full moon. So pay attention to where your thoughts are for this full moon because distractions aren't needed. We really want to focus on that Mars and Scorpio energy, that full force, I'm fucking going for it. I know where I'm going in life, or maybe I know where I'm ending shit in my life. And for this full moon to be ruled by Mars, and Mars being in a very, very favorable sign, Scorpio and Mars are best friends. This is just going to amplify this full moon for you in a way where it comes to like, I know which direction I'm not or I am going in. So let's get into the individual signs for both of these transits coming up. We're going to start with Aries because this full moon's in Aries. Aries, you are letting go of something in your routine that is not pleasurable for you anymore, that doesn't serve you anymore. Or you are going back to old routines that did serve you. Meaning, say you stopped working out, you stopped working on your body and caring about your body. This Venus conjunct the South Node can really show you, hey, wait a second, I give a shit about myself. I need to go back to what I was doing before. So you could pick up a habit that was really good for you, that served you, or you could be releasing and letting go of habits that don't serve you. What's taking up your time? What's taking up your energy? Okay, in your daily routine, I always call the sixth house the miracles in mundane. It's what we do every single day that brings us pleasure and joy, those little things. So it's about what are you focusing on when it comes to those little things? What do you need in your life to make your daily routine pleasurable? That's going to be a big thing when it comes to that transit. Now, Aries, this full moon is going to be in your first house. This house, when we have full moons here, they can feel very empowering, very self-aware. Like, I know where I'm going, what direction I'm going in, and it's in your energy. So you feel very, very comfortable in this energy. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you Aries took a chance on being more intimate with people in your life. life, or also being, meditating, getting into the occulty spiritual world. I could see that as well, because right now your drive is sitting in that 8th house. That's where Mars is. So it's very important to pay attention to, how am I feeling when it comes to this full moon? Am I allowing myself the time, the space, and the grace in order to realize how I'm coming off, and my self-awareness, and how do I want to be perceived in this world? How do you want to be perceived? So this could also be a big harvesting moment for you guys when it comes to whatever goals you've set out for yourself, whatever long-term investments you could be seeing returns on now, as Mars is sitting in that 8th house of returns and investments. But just keep in mind that this might feel euphoric. This is going to feel like euphoric energy, and dive into it. Dive into the euphoria. Dive into what makes you you, and what's being displayed to yourself through other people. Because because the sun is still in Libra, okay? So you're focused right now, and it's lighting up your Libra ruled house is what's happening. So this is a really big time for you to understand, how other people in your life are perceiving you by your energy. It doesn't mean their perceptions matter. That's not the point. The point is that people, we mirror each other. So if you have a partner that's mirroring bad, shitty behavior, like, you look inside yourself, like, are you triggered? Like, what's going on within you? Like, there's more to dig into that. So just pay attention to that mirroring aspect during this full moon and enjoy it. Because after going through a lot of transits for Aries and Libra access, you guys went through a huge transformation over the past 3 years, which is absolutely amazing. But this is your time to really reap the benefits of what the last 2-3 years have brought when it comes to you and the other. So paying attention to who's in your life, do they serve you, and do you want to take the next steps and be intimate, more intimate with people? It doesn't have to be, sexual, even though the 8th house is sex and death and all those taboo-y things, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be more like, I'm going to share a little bit more of myself, right? I'm going to be more vulnerable. I'm going to be okay with being seen for who I am. And there's going to be a spotlight on you. This is this full moon. It's a huge spotlight on you, Aries. Use it to your advantage to really understand what you desire, who you are, what you're going after, and also who you allow in your life. It's a big one, Aries. Taurus, this Venus conjunct the South Node for you is happening in your 5th house. This is your pleasure, your joy, your creativity, dating, children. This is really about releasing what doesn't give you pleasure anymore. Okay? Or if you stop doing something, like maybe picking up something from your inner child, this is the house of the inner child, bringing your inner child forward, that's the South Node, right? It's our past. So what is it that you could bring forward from your inner child that would bring you joy now? So there is a couple ways. You could be releasing a creative project. You could be releasing somebody you're dating. There's that as well. But this is really about what brings you joy. What brings you pleasure when it comes to yourself and your own creativity, your own world, your own vortex, your own energy? Like, what brings you pleasure? This is what this Venus conjunct the South Node is really going to bring out of you. Taurus, you have a full moon in your 12th house. This is one of the most life-changing full moons that you can experience because the 12th house rules our mental health and our perception. So if your perception is skewed and it's not getting you what you desire, this full moon will show it to you. But this is the type of full moon that being in your own energy is going to serve you more than being around other people. Giving yourself time on Monday, giving yourself time this weekend. Just, this full moon energy, you might feel a little bit tired, a little bit more drained, because it can make us do some subconscious work, like rewire our subconscious on what really serves us. This could feel like a big mental new moon for you, full moon for you. You could feel a little bit in your head, as Aries does rule the head, but this is about a perception change. This is about changing your perception on a situation, on yourself. It doesn't matter what the perception change is happening, like what needs to be done. It's about what serves you when it comes to your perception. Are you holding on to something too tight? Do you have grudges? Are you, it's mental health. It's a lot of things in that head of yours. So you got to figure out, what is it? What is it that helps you with your perception? And are you doing those things? Are you going to therapy? Are you journaling, meditation? There's so many healing modalities, and every one of you Tauruses is different, but it's about finding that. This also could be you reaping the benefits. Maybe you have, Taurus, been working on your mental health for a very long time, and now you finally start to see the change in the perception. And when you change your perception, you change your reality, you change your outside world. That's the cool thing. It's an inside out process. So pay attention to what is serving you in your mind and what is not serving you in your mind, and find that pain point, find that trauma point. That's what this full moon will show you if you ask for it. And you're in your own energy. If you're in and you're having all these distractions, you just might feel really mentally busy and feel a little bit chaotic. But there's no harsh aspects for this full moon. So take advantage in a way that serves you when it comes to what in your reality isn't working. Where do you have lack in your life? Where do you just things like that. And then take a look and see, what's my perception about that? Yeah, this is a big one, Taurus, for you. It's like, change your perception. You can change your reality. That's a big one. Gemini, we have Venus conjunct the South Node happening in your 4th house. This is an interesting one because this can play out in a very spiritual way, or this can play out in a physical way. You could physically be leaving your home. You could be leaving your home and not being around your family anymore, or who you call family, like switching up your roommates, something like that. It could just involve the home. But there is a more spiritual aspect to it, where you could be letting go of beliefs that no longer serve you anymore when it comes to your family ancestry, like how you were raised. And you could be breaking those ties from that. Like, no, I'm my own person. I know how to live my life. This is not what I believe in anymore. So it could be that kind of spiritual aspect where you're really, growing spiritually, and you're letting go of, maybe you're stopping and you're like, wait a second, I'm not crazy. I do see dead people. I don't know. Like, it could be that. But at the same time, it's releasing and it's letting go of some sort of relationship that you have to yourself or you have to others. Gemini, you have a full moon in the 11th house. This is a really fun full moon for you, okay? First of all, Gemini, you guys are a social sign. Obviously, it depends on your placements, but generally, you guys like to talk, you know what I mean? Maybe not to a big group of people, but definitely your friends. You like to talk, you like to share. You guys are the storytellers. And the 11th house is what makes you unique? What makes you uniquely yourself? And also, it's about your communities and your friend groups. Like, maybe one of you Geminis, like maybe you've moved to a whole new city, and then this full moon, you finally meet the friends that you want to hang out with. This also involves your hopes and dreams. So if you've been working towards a goal or working towards your hopes and dreams, this is when you can reap the benefits, like putting out a project or getting a promotion, whatever you have been striving towards, it, whatever your heart is totally in. That's the key, okay? So whatever your heart is totally in, you could be reaping the benefits at this time. I absolutely love this full moon for you. There are no bad aspects. It seems very black and white, but it kind of is, just because this house as a whole is about you embracing your authenticity. I mean, you guys have transit Uranus in your 1st house still. It will be there for a very long time after. It's still going to retrograde back into Taurus and then come back into your 1st house. But Uranus is that planet of breakthroughs, being unique. You're experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime transit. And it's really amazing because then it's going to make you bring out your unique self even more. even more. Geminis, you guys are one of my favorite signs to hang out with, talk to, everything. I absolutely love you guys. So enjoy this full moon. And also, full moons are about letting go. So maybe you do have to let go of a friend group or let go of a community that no longer serves you anymore. Maybe that is the case. Maybe you got in with the bad crowd and you're just like, this is not me. But you know what? Knowing what you don't want makes you know what you do want. So just keep that in mind when it comes to this full moon. Cancers, you are going to experience this Venus conjunct the South Node in a way where it involves your mind and your communication, things that you believed in the past that no longer serve you anymore, releasing an old form of communication. Say you're somebody that doesn't speak their mind, you are going to start speaking your mind. Saying you're somebody that maybe speaks their mind a little bit too much, and now it's time to pull back a little bit when it comes to the other people in your life. Venus represents relationships, and you're doing this release, where in this house where it involves our early education and what we were taught and what we were taught to believe in. And so this is an excellent time to release beliefs that no longer serve you anymore. Like get them out of your head. Like, this is the time to be like, screw you, I don't believe that. I'm rewriting my beliefs. I'm changing my beliefs. I'm changing my communication style. This is a time for you Cancers to really, really speak your mind. It's the time for you guys to move forward with whatever it is you're trying to move forward with for you and nobody else, okay? Nobody else. And if you're in a relationship, this could be you changing up your communication style with them. And it could be friends too, of course. But I'm just getting this like vision for you Cancers. Like I'm seeing like a relationship dynamic and you finally speaking your mind and being like, no, that's not what I want. So this might be a release and let go of boundaries. Like, you putting up boundaries. Like that could be part of this release and let go. Cancers, you're experiencing a full moon in your 10th house of career and public image. This is kind of black and white because this is really about your career. This is about your public image. This is about what you desire when it comes to your career and public image. And I say public image too because if you're a stay-at-home mom, dad, or whatever, you're taking care of children, that's your career. Like, that's how I see it. Like, that's your career. So there's something with your public image that's coming full circle, as well as career. Now, this is release and let go. You could be letting go of a career that no longer serves you anymore, but it's going to feel really good because you're over it. You're overworking there. Like, you're just fucking done. So it could just feel really, really good. This could be you turning your hobby into a career. Like maybe you've been working on this hobby for a really long time and you're ready to launch your hobby out into the world for the world to see. And then that turns into a career because you're sick of your 9-to-5 job. Like there's a lot of ways that this can play out, but there's a light shined on it. And your emotions are going to be ruling the show. And you Cancers are really great at following your emotions. Definitely. So follow your emotions this full moon. Understand where it's leading you, where it's taking you, Cancers, because you will find all the answers you're looking for when it comes to your career and your public image. Leos, this Venus conjunct the South Node, you guys are experiencing a release when it comes to old ways on how you used to value yourself. Okay, so how do you value you? Do you value you for your looks? I mean, that's very common with Leo energy. I'm right there. That used to be me. Do you value yourself for how much money you have, how many material possessions you have? What is it, and how do you value you? And how do you think other people value you? There is some release and let go looking to happen there. Leo, this full moon is happening in your 9th house. This is a very exciting full moon when it comes to breakthroughs, ideas on where your expansion and your growth is taking you. If you have been working on something for a very long time, you could be finishing up school, you could be deciding to go back to school, you could have these crazy ideas on where you're looking to grow and expand. This is also a spiritual house. You could get downloads, you could start to remember more of who the fuck you really really are, because you're not this meat suit. That's not all who you are. There could be tons of ways this could play out, as well as maybe you booked a trip and now you're ready to go on the trip, or maybe you realize you want to travel, getting the itch to travel. This full moon, it could involve releasing and letting go of things that no longer serve you, but it's going to bring you it's going to bring you on a path. It's going to bring you on a path that puts you in the right direction in where your soul is looking to go. So this full moon is exciting. Yes, there are no harsh aspects, but just keep in mind it's a mental full moon. It does involve your head. So if you get the itch to study a new subject, like if you're just like, oh my gosh, like I want to study this. I don't know why, but I want to study this. I need to get out there. Then do it. This is exactly what this full moon is going to do. It's going to put you in the right direction of your growth, and you might need to let something go in order to go into that direction. Virgo, this is a big moment for you. Venus conjunct the South Node. Yes, we have the full moon in Aries, but this Venus conjunct the South Node is happening in your first house. Something big is happening. I mean, when the nodes are in your sign, fate is at play. The direction in which your soul truly desires to go is at play. And with Venus making that conjunction to the South Node, it's like, what no longer serves you anymore when it comes to relationships, when it comes to the way that you view yourself, maybe caring too much about the perception of other people, maybe being a little bit too overcritical, a little judgy, huh? So there could be some of those themes there, but just know that whatever you're looking to release and let go, your body is going to be pulled towards it. Your mind is going to be pulled towards it. It might be a thought you can't get out of your mind. You might feel a little overwhelmed in your mind, especially because we're leading up to this Aries full moon, and Aries rules the head. But just know, Virgo, keep going, okay? The South Node gets out of your sign in, I believe it's end of July, around there, 2026. And you're going through this huge transformation of what no longer serves you anymore, Virgo, when it comes to you. And we always have to look inward and not point any fingers outward. That's the biggest thing. The more you look inward, the more you're going to completely transform your life by the end of this South Node transit. And Venus is a benefic planet, so there's going to be some pleasure involved. And it's the first house. It might be maybe you're letting go of caring about getting older, so you're done with Botox, like whatever. I love my fucking wrinkles, right? It could be anything that you're going through. Whatever you're going through when it involves love, beauty, pleasure, self-love, looks, okay? Those themes, there is something being looked to be released. Virgo, you have this full moon in the 8th house. Full moons in the 8th house can feel very transformative. 8th house does represent more of that death rebirth cycle. And the reason why is because the 8th house is the deep, deep, deep shit that nobody wants to talk about, okay? It's the trauma, it's the sex, it's the death, it's this deep, deep, deep shit. And we usually avoid it, right? We're human. We don't want to look at it. But this full moon is going to make you look at it. It's going to make you look at your deep shit. It's going to make you understand like where it is you're holding yourself back by ignoring certain aspects of yourself. Now, this could play out in a way where maybe you get some returns on investments. Full moons are also about harvesting, and you get returns on intimacy. So maybe you're in a marriage that has been a little rocky or something like that, or a friendship that's been rocky, and you have a really deep, meaningful conversation where you get on the same page. That's also something that can play out. But just know that the 8th house full moon, we have no harsh aspects, but this still is a darker house. Still a darker house. So don't avoid your shit, basically is what this full moon is saying. Don't avoid it. The more that you dig into it, the more that you understand yourself on a deep level, the more you're going to benefit by being just very, very happy and content in your life. Libra, Venus conjunct the South Node is happening in your 12th house. Okay. So this could play out in a way where you're letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, that maybe you've been a little over obsessed with. And I'm just saying that because you're a Libra, okay? And I have Libra in me. I understand sometimes we get a little codependent on our partners, our friends, or we just love having those people in our lives. And maybe it's time to let them the fuck go. So that's how this could play out. This also could play out in a way where you're letting go of any mental thoughts that don't serve you when it comes to relationships. Like, how do you perceive the relationships in your life? Do you like them? Do you not like them? And maybe this is a transit. Okay, this is a transit where you can get a little nostalgic. You could be thinking about the past and past relationships and how they worked out, because what that is doing is it's showing you where you need to heal, where you have a belief that's not serving you. So if that does end up happening, that means you have a belief that's not serving you, and it's looking to be changed. Your perception is looking to be changed on relationships, Libra. So just pay attention to what's being released, what's being let go, and just know that Venus is a benefic planet, so it's not going to feel so harsh and hard. But at the same time, the 12th house can just naturally feel harsh and hard because the 12th house is your mental health. It's your soul's connection, your spiritual connection. This could also be past life integration as well. So take that as that resonates. Just saw like a crazy image, but just like past life integration means that you could have crazy dreams about your past lives, and you could have gone through something that stuck with you in this life, and a belief that stuck with you in this life that's no longer serving you anymore. So that's what I mean by that, like, integration piece, because as you heal, you're healing all versions of yourself. So just keep that in mind. And Libra, we have the full moon in Aries in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. Now, this could play out in a lot of ways. This could play out in a way where you release and let go partnerships and relationships that don't serve you anymore. This is where you also can harvest in partnerships and relationships that do serve you. Continuing relationships, just really enjoying the people in your life. The 7th house just denotes to change. Okay, and it's going to make you think about yourself and the other. So it will show you if you're being too codependent with somebody else in your life. It will show you if you're not being vulnerable enough with somebody in your life. It's just going to show you a lot of things when it comes to you and the other. And keep in mind, we do have that new moon in Libra that's happening, I believe, October 28th. I could be wrong. I will be doing a video for that. But you're starting this new beginning this October. So what's happening is first you get this full moon, harvest, release, let go. And then you're going to decide that new beginning that you want for yourself. So just keep in mind that, this could feel like a lot of energy for you. It could feel very wired. It could feel very mental. But at the same time, pay attention to you and the other and how that's working in your life. And take a look at those. If you're feeling a little nostalgic, if old moments are popping up in your head, take a look at those past relationships and where did those beliefs come from? How did you see your parents' relationship growing up? Was there a relationship? Was there not a relationship? What did you see? Rewrite what love means to you. I know you Libras love the love. So what does love and intimacy mean to you? Rewrite that for this full moon. Scorpio, you are experiencing the Venus conjunct the South Node in your 11th house. Now, some of you Scorpios could be realizing that the community that you surround yourself with is not healthy for you. It's not good for you. The friend groups, maybe, when I talk about, when I think of the 11th house and I think about, our outer friend groups. It's like those people that you go to the bar, but you don't hang out with. You know what I mean? Like the bar crew type of people. Are they your people? It doesn't have to be specifically the bar, Scorpio. But do you know what I mean by that? Are you with your people? Is it healthy for you? Are those relationships healthy for you? And so I just feel that this release that's happening here, it's really about your authenticity as well. It's about, are you being authentic? Do people know you, or do they not know you? Like, not everybody needs to know every detail about your life, but do you have defense mechanisms put up? And maybe you're Scorpio that's like, I don't know, I can't find friends. Well, it's like, do you have defense mechanisms put up? You know what I mean? That's trauma that needs to be dealt with. Fun. But this Venus conjunct the South Node too, it could bring past people into your life randomly. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes people grow apart, and then when you meet up and it's like you decided you didn't want to be friends anymore, or you didn't want to date anymore, whatever it was, you meet up and you guys have both changed so freaking much that you're like, yes, like I can't, like we are on the same page now. So this is great. So that could happen as well. But just know that something's looking to be released and let go. It might be a hope and dream. It might be something that you thought you would always do, but then now you're just like, I don't know, this doesn't bring me pleasure anymore, because Venus really is about that pleasure. So this is going to be a big release and let go for you guys. I think that it's not going to feel in the moment maybe like a big release and let go, but it's going to create a ripple effect. Scorpio, you have this full moon in your 6th house. This is the fun house. Well, this is your day-to-day routine. This is your physical health. You could be reaping the benefits during this time when it comes to maybe you've been on a workout regimen for the past 6 months, and now you're finally starting to see long-term results, and now you can't imagine a day that you wouldn't move your body. That it could be like that. It could also be you rearranging your schedule, getting rid of things out of your schedule that no longer serve you, that don't bring you joy, that don't bring you pleasure, that don't get you fired up and ready to go. You just absolutely dread and hate it. It's time to let it go. If you have something in your schedule that you absolutely dread and you hate, it's time to let it go. Get it out of your life. The 6th house is also a work house. It triggers those work houses. So it might be a job. It might be the coworkers that you work with and you're just like, I can't work with you anymore. But at the same time, it's good, right? You don't want to live your day-to-day life dealing with shit and not enjoying the miracles in the mundane. Like, that's what really makes up our life, is that day-to-day, what we do every single day, and finding that joy, finding that pleasure, finding what serves you is going to be really important for this full moon. Sagittarius, you're going to experience the Venus conjunct the South Node in your 10th house of career and public image. And I do feel like some of you could be letting go of work relationships that no longer serve you anymore. You could be letting go of careers that don't serve you anymore. You could be letting go of a public image that doesn't serve you anymore. But at the same time, Venus is here as a benefic. It's here to help guide you to find the career that suits you, find the public image that suits you. This would be a great time to think about your legacy. What are you looking to leave behind? This is going to be something that only you know, first of all, right? But it would be good to sit down with your journal and just be like, who am I when it comes to my ambition and my drives and what's looking to move forward? And it's just, I don't see this as a huge, crazy moment for all you Sagittariuses, but I do see this as an aha moment. An aha moment when it comes to what gives you pleasure and joy in your career. Sagittarius, you have this full moon happening in your 5th house. This is an amazing full moon for you. There's no harsh aspects to this full moon, as well as the 5th house is the fun house. It's fun. It's about pleasure. It's about joy. It's about dating. It's about your children as well. This is a fun house to have a full moon in. You are going to be so focused on your creativity, your drive, and this also can show you things, because full moons are about revealing things so that you can release and let go. This could be showing you things when it comes to your inner child. Like, have you been loving her, him, whoever? Have you been loving your inner person? Like, loving them to death and allowing to bring them forward? Have you been allowing them to play? Have you been playing? Have you been having fun? But at the same time, this could also spark a creative project, a creative idea. It could bring a breakthrough. I absolutely love full moons in the 5th house. They are fun. They are creative. They're just about what brings you pleasure and joy. Okay, what are you working on? What are you reading? What are you like you could find just a new amazing book to pick up and read, and then it could just be a ripple effect and it could spark you into bigger and better things. You never know what can happen with full moons in the 5th house. I just know that it's going to be feel good energy for you guys. Capricorn, you're experiencing the Venus conjunct South Node happening in your 9th house. This is letting go of any sort of relationships that don't serve you when it comes to your growth, your expansion, and your beliefs. This is going to ask you, what do you believe in? And are the people in your life supporting your growth and your expansion? You want to ditch this old career, you want to go into something new, start a new project. Venus is here to spark those ideas for you on what gives you pleasure and joy when it comes to your growth and expansion. So learning a new subject, traveling, those things that just pull you towards learning something new, discovering something new, putting yourself in new situations. Have you been holding yourself back? Have you been telling yourself, I can't go and do this new situation. I can't do this shit because that's not me. I have to have that stability and that. It's this Venus conjunct the South Node. Are you allowing yourself to be spontaneous, Capricorn? Are you allowing yourself to maybe date the wrong person? Who cares? This is life. This is the Matrix. We are in avatars. Where are you having that pleasure and joy when it comes to that growth, expansion, and are you being spontaneous? Capricorn, you're having a full moon in your 4th house. This house having a full moon here, say it could play out in an earthly way. You could have been saving for a home and now you get to reap the benefits and you saved up enough money and you're yeah, now let's find a home. Let's go out and explore and look at houses or a new apartment. You could be really feeling the itch of I need to move. I don't want where I'm at. It's time for me to move. It's time for me to get up. And this could feel really random, really impulsive because Aries is that random, impulsive sign. So really going after your instincts, your instant animal instincts for you specifically, Capricorn, is going to be so important for this full moon. Not making pros and cons lists, not writing down this was my 3-year plan, this was my 5-year plan. No, this is about being spontaneous and going after what really gives you pleasure and joy specifically for you, Capricorn. And the 4th house full moon too can show you where in your life and how you were raised with your family ancestry, what beliefs you are no longer carrying with you anymore. That's a big one as well. Are you allowing your family to hold you back? Whether it's a belief, it could be other things, okay? Take that as it resonates. But this is also a spiritual house. So this full moon, you could get a lot of crazy dreams. Your subconscious could be coming through hard. Your soul could be coming through hard. Dead family members could be coming through hard. Or, your galactic energy, your alien energy, whatever you want to say, whatever you resonate with. Just a lot of energy could be coming in for you. Paranormal experiences could be happening as well. You could be getting, you could see things. That's the best way to put it. You could see things. So this full moon for you, Capricorn, it's exciting because there's no harsh aspects. But at the same time, what is it that you believe in, and do those beliefs serve you when it comes to how you were raised? Aquarius, you are going to experience Venus conjunct the South Node in the 8th house. The 8th house is a darker house, but Venus is a benefic planet, so it's adding some pleasure and joy to the 8th house context. And, this really could be you releasing and letting go of a relationship, an intimate relationship. This could be you releasing and letting go of things you used to invest in that don't bring you joy and pleasure anymore when it comes to money. And you're just like, nah, this is not for me anymore. I'm not having fun doing this anymore. I'm ready to move on. This could also be you releasing and letting go of, I just want to say this. This house does rule sex and death. Okay, I am not a morbid person, and I am not talking about people dying. So that's not what I'm saying, Aquarius. I'm just saying there could be maybe something you haven't fully processed. Okay, it could have been a trauma that you haven't fully processed, and this could be your time to really, really heal that trauma. Really understand why you behave the way you do. Maybe you get a little defensive. Maybe you hold back from being intimate with your partner. There's a lot of things that could come up with this because everybody's trauma is different, but it's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel like a big release. Aquarius, you're having a full moon in your third house. This is exciting. This is about you communicating. Maybe you've been working on your communication and it's going to pay off, and you have realized that like how you're communicating or how you're thinking is not really serving you anymore when it comes to other people in your life, as we are coming off of the Venus conjunct the South Node. So there might be some mixture with that as well, especially if it involves a marriage. That could be a thing. But this full moon, it could also be if you're a writer, Aquarius, if you're a content creator, this could be you reaping the benefits of finishing a book, putting your content out there and going viral, you know what I mean? Gaining a bunch of followers. Third house is that content writing creation. This full moon for you, Aquarius, is really going to show you where your mind is at. It's going to show you. It's going to shine a light on it. So pay attention to the thoughts that go in your head and how you're talking to yourself, how you're talking to others, because it's really going to show you where your mind is at. And our mind is what controls our reality in this reality, okay? So what thoughts are going in and out of your brain? Pisces, you're going to experience the Venus conjunct South Node in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. This is just one of those where you could really, Pisces, let go of relationships that no longer serve you. But it's going to feel good, okay? So if you've been sitting on shit and you haven't been speaking your mind and you know this relationship is over, and I'm talking about all relationships, okay? I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about business partnerships, romantic, family, whatever it may be. If something needs to end, it's time, because Venus is a benefic planet. It's giving you that push. It's helping you with the South Node. This could also be a perception change on your relationship. So maybe you thought you were in a shitty marriage or a shitty friendship, but then you sit down with your friend or your partner and you're like, you hear their point of view, you hear their side of it, and you're like, wow, okay. And you start to see everything differently when it comes to your relationship. But Venus conjunct that South Node, something in your relationships, whether it's a perception or a person, is looking to go. Pisces, you have a full moon in the 2nd house. This is a fun one because 2nd house rules money, okay? And money is honestly fun to have. We get to buy shit. So random resources could be coming to you at this time. This is also shining a light on this house. So if you have any money blockages, you can figure it out during this time. You can figure out why you're not making money. It can give you the answers. Aries rules the head. Ask for the answers. Ask them through meditation. Ask them, through journaling, do automatic writing, whatever serves you. But money blockages could be a big one for some of you Pisces. This could also be something random falling into your lap, like a material possession, a random resource, but also this is how you value yourself and your time. So this could be aha moments of, you know what, this is not worth my time anymore. this is not worth my time at all. I'm going to stop doing this. It could be something you've been trying to make money off of and it's just not working for you, and you get that aha moment like, this is just not going to work anymore for me. So it's time for me to move on to new resources, new ideas, new breakthroughs. Now keep in mind, as soon as you let something go, whether that's a money blockage, whether that's how you value yourself, a perception of how you value yourself when it comes to your resources and money, it's going to change. Full moon, there's no bad aspects to this full moon. So you change your inside world, you change your outside world. So just know, the more that you value and place value on yourself by understanding your beliefs, your resources are going to change. Your money's going to change. Things are going to come into your life. This is a big one to work on receiving. Do you actually receive? Receiving is a big one. Like, what does receiving mean to you? What does it mean to you? What did it mean to you growing up? So this is one to play with, Pisces.